3 years ago, I stood at the bottom of a flight of stairs, looking up and hesitating, not because I was tired, but because my knees had begun to betray me. There was a sharp, nagging pain in both joints that made even small movements feel uncertain. I had always been active, healthy, mobile. But suddenly I found myself avoiding walks, skipping steps, and silently wondering, is this just what aging feels like? If you've ever felt that quiet frustration, the stiffness in the morning, the ache after a short walk, or the jolt of pain going upstairs, you're not alone. Knee pain is one of the most common issues people over 50 face, affecting millions not just physically but emotionally, limiting freedom, joy, and confidence. The common belief is, this is just age catching up, but that's only part of the truth. The real story lies deeper, at the microscopic level, inside a substance most of us have heard about but rarely understand: collagen. Collagen is more than a beauty buzzword. It's the most abundant structural protein in the body. Think of it as the scaffolding that holds your joints, tendons, ligaments, and cartilage together. When it begins to decline, as it naturally does around age 25, it quietly changes everything. By your 40s or 50s, you could be producing half as much as you once did. The result? Less cushion in your joints, slower recovery, more friction, more pain. But here's the part no one tells you. This decline isn't irreversible. Your body can produce collagen again, if you give it the right signals, the right building blocks, and the right rhythm. In this video, you're going to learn how to do just that. Not with expensive pills, not with surgery, but with a combination of neuroscience, nutrition, and gentle movement that works with your biology. You'll discover why your brain might be amplifying your pain, even when there's no new damage, how collagen is made, and what's actually missing from your diet that's stopping it. A simple, science-based drink you can make at home to support joint repair. The precise timing that turns that drink into a catalyst for healing. The kind of movement that stimulates collagen synthesis, and what to avoid. And finally, the invisible internal factors, like sleep, blood sugar, and breath, that can either block or unlock your body's ability to rebuild. This is more than just about knee pain. It's about reclaiming your ability to move freely, age with strength, and feel at home in your body again. So if you're tired of short-term relief and want a real path forward, one rooted in science and daily action, you're in the right place. Let's begin this journey together, from pain to possibility, one step at a time. Number 1. Why your knee pain isn't just about age and what it really means. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I met Tom, 67 years old, retired high school coach, the kind of guy who used to run morning drills before most people were even out of bed. But when I met him, he was walking with a cane. He smiled when we talked, but I could see the tension in his face with every step. I asked him what happened, and he said something I've heard from so many people. It's just age, I guess. Nothing you can do about that. But here's the thing. That's not entirely true. Yes, aging can be a factor in joint pain, but it's not the whole story. It's not even the main story in many cases. If we zoom out and look at people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s around the world, there's a striking pattern. Some stay active, mobile, and independent, while others struggle with pain doing everyday things like standing up, walking, or climbing stairs. These people aren't biologically different, they're just aging differently. And that's where the real insight begins. So what's really going on? As we get older, especially past our mid-40s, our bodies do change, but not in the way most people assume. It's not just wear and tear. What's actually happening is that the systems responsible for repairing and rebuilding, like collagen production, start to slow down. Not stop, just slow. And if we're not giving those systems the right support, that slowdown leads to structural weakness. Think of your knee like a bridge. A strong bridge can handle traffic for decades if it's maintained. If bolts loosen and rust forms and no one does upkeep, it's not the age of the bridge that causes collapse, it's neglect. That's what happens to our joints. When collagen declines, when inflammation creeps in, when movement decreases, the structure starts to break down. And when the scaffolding weakens, pain becomes the signal, a message from your body saying, something needs your attention. Tom didn't know this. He believed pain was inevitable. But after a few small changes, a homemade collagen drink each morning, 5 minutes of gentle movement, and simple shifts in his daily routine, he started walking more confidently again. Within weeks, the cane stayed by the door. He didn't need it anymore. The lesson: pain isn't always about damage, and it's definitely not just about age. It's about what's missing from your body's ability to maintain itself, and the good news is you can restore that support. And once we understand that, we can begin to shift from helplessness to action. So if pain is your body's message, what's the missing ingredient? To answer that, we need to look deeper at the substance that makes your knees glide, cushion, and carry your body: collagen. And that's exactly where we're headed next. Number 2, the hidden power of collagen, more than skin deep. If you've ever heard the word collagen, chances are it was in the context of a skin cream or an anti-aging serum. That's how it's usually marketed, something to smooth wrinkles or plump lips. But what most people don't realize is that collagen's most important role has nothing to do with your face, and everything to do with how you move. Collagen is the most abundant structural protein in your entire body. It's the material your body uses to build and repair things like cartilage, ligaments, tendons, bones, and even the lining of your gut and blood vessels. In many ways, it's the glue that holds you together. In fact, the word collagen comes from the Greek word kala, which literally means glue. If you picture a skyscraper being built, the steel beams that give it strength and structure, that's what collagen does inside your body. And nowhere is this more important than in your joints. Inside each knee, for example, collagen forms the framework of your cartilage, the smooth, cushiony material that allows your bones to glide against each other without pain. It's also a major component of the ligaments and tendons that stabilize the joint and transfer force when you move. But here's the catch: your body doesn't store collagen the way it stores fat or calcium. It has to keep making it, day after day. And starting as early as your mid-20s, that production begins to slow. By your 40s or 50s, you could be making 30 to 50% less collagen than you did in your youth. And if you're not giving your body what it needs to make more collagen-specific amino acids, vitamin C, key minerals, it simply can't keep up with daily wear and tear. That's when the aches begin, not because you're broken, but because the building materials are running low. I once spoke with a physical therapist who worked with retired athletes. She said, people think their knees wore out because they played too hard. But what really happened is they never replenished what the body lost. It's like driving a car cross-country without ever changing the oil. Eventually, something gives out, not because it was poorly built, but because maintenance stopped. The good news: collagen can be rebuilt. Your body still has the blueprint, it just needs the right tools. And one of the most effective tools isn't a supplement or a cream, it's real food. In fact, many of the most powerful sources of collagen-supporting nutrients are foods our grandparents ate regularly. Bone broth, slow-cooked meats, chicken skin, fish skin, and yes, even gelatin desserts. When you combine those foods with vitamin C, your body gets exactly what it needs to restart the process of repair. And when you time that intake with movement, especially the right kind of movement, something remarkable starts to happen. The tissue responds. So the takeaway here is simple but powerful. Collagen isn't just about looking younger. It's about moving younger with more ease, more fluidity, and less pain. And now that you understand what collagen is and why it matters so deeply for joint health, the next question is, what's standing in its way? Because even if you're eating the right foods, there are hidden habits and conditions that quietly destroy your collagen every single day. That's what we'll uncover next. Number 3, 5 silent collagen killers that are damaging your knees right now. Let me tell you about Susan. She's 64, retired, and proud of the fact that she still cooks most of her meals at home. She told me, "I take a collagen supplement every morning with my coffee, but honestly, my knees still hurt. I'm starting to wonder if it's just not working." So we looked closer, not at what she was taking, but at what might be canceling it out. You see, supporting collagen production isn't just about adding the right things. It's also about removing the things that quietly destroy your body's ability to build and repair. There are hidden enemies of collagen most people don't even realize they're exposed to every day. Let's walk through the 5 most common collagen killers and how you can begin to turn them around. 1. Sugar and glycation. You've probably heard sugar is bad for your health, but here's what it specifically does to collagen. It attaches itself to the protein strands in a process called glycation. That makes your collagen stiff, brittle, and prone to breaking, exactly the opposite of what your joints need. Even something as normal as a muffin in the morning or a sugary coffee drink can start that damage process. And the worst part, glycated collagen isn't easily repaired, it just accumulates over time. 2. Chronic stress. When you're under stress, your body produces more cortisol, a hormone that in excess breaks down connective tissue and slows healing. I once worked with a man who did everything right on paper. He ate well, exercised, took supplements. But he was in a constant state of tension, taking care of his aging parents, working late, rarely sleeping. His pain never improved until he addressed stress directly. The body doesn't regenerate when it thinks it's in danger. It just tries to survive. 3. Lack of sleep. Most people don't realize that deep sleep, especially the slow wave phase, is when your body produces the majority of its growth hormone. That hormone is essential for collagen repair and rebuilding tissue. So when you're getting by on 5 or 6 hours, you're not just tired, you're missing the prime time when your joints could be healing. A consistent bedtime, darker room, and calming pre-sleep routine can do more for your knees than another pill. 4. Micronutrient deficiency. Collagen synthesis requires more than protein. You need vitamin C to activate enzymes, zinc to support tissue growth, copper to form strong collagen bonds. If any of these are low, the whole process slows. And here's the kicker. These deficiencies are incredibly common, especially as we age. Antacids, poor gut absorption, and limited diets all contribute. That's why food variety, and sometimes gentle supplementation, matters more than ever. 5. Inactivity. This one surprises people. "But I'm resting my knees," they say. Shouldn't that help? Actually, no. Cartilage is like a sponge. It needs gentle compression and decompression to stay nourished. Without regular movement, nutrient delivery to your joint slows and waste builds up. You don't need to run marathons, but daily, joint-friendly motion is what keeps collagen-producing cells, your fibroblasts, awake and active. When Susan started addressing these 5 silent collagen killers, cutting back sugar, walking daily, adding magnesium at night for sleep, and including more vitamin C-rich foods, things began to shift. Not overnight, but after 3 weeks, she noticed her knees didn't feel as tight in the morning. By week 6, she was walking longer with less effort. The lesson is clear. Sometimes healing isn't about adding more. It's about removing what's quietly standing in the way. And now that we've cleared the path, it's time to give your body something it can actually use to rebuild. In the next section, I'll show you a simple, homemade collagen drink based on real research that you can start using today. Number 4. The ultimate homemade collagen drink with a science-backed twist. When I first started looking into collagen, I did what most people do. I bought a tub of powder, scooped it into my coffee, and waited for the magic. Weeks passed. My knees still ached. And honestly, I started to wonder, is this just another health trend? But then I came across a little detail in the research that changed everything, not just what to take, but how to take it and when. That's when I stopped treating collagen like a quick fix and started treating it like a signal to my body. Let me explain. Collagen itself is made up of specific amino acids, mostly glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline. These are the raw materials your body uses to build and repair connective tissue. But here's the catch. Your body doesn't make collagen unless it has these building blocks and a reason to use them. That's where this homemade drink comes in. It's simple, it's affordable, and it's designed not just to give your body the ingredients, but to deliver them in a way your body actually recognizes and uses. Here's the recipe. 1 tablespoon of grass-fed gelatin powder, rich in glycine and proline. Juice of half a lemon or half teaspoon of acerola powder for natural vitamin C. 1 cup of warm water, not boiling, just warm enough to dissolve the gelatin. Optional, a pinch of cinnamon or a drop of honey or stevia for taste. Stir well, let it sit for a minute, then drink it slowly. Now, why gelatin? Because when mixed with warm water, gelatin becomes bloomed, meaning the proteins become more bioavailable, easier for your body to absorb. And why vitamin C? Because your body literally cannot convert proline into hydroxyproline, a key step in making collagen, without it. That's a piece most people miss. I suggested this drink to Robert, a 71-year-old former firefighter who had been dealing with stiff knees for years. He was skeptical but willing to try. He started drinking it every morning, just before his daily walk. After 2 weeks, he told me, "It's subtle, but something's changing. I'm not limping as much. I actually feel springier." That's not a miracle, that's biochemistry. The body wants to heal. It's wired for repair. But it needs signals, not just supplements. Here's the key. This drink is not meant to be taken randomly. For it to really work, timing is everything. The collagen amino acids need to be in your bloodstream before you move, so your body can use them in response to the mechanical signals from movement. That's where we're going next, because giving your body the raw materials is one part of the equation, but pairing it with the right type of motion, that's where the real regeneration begins. Number 5. Why timing makes or breaks your knee recovery. A few weeks after Robert started drinking the collagen blend each morning, he called me, excited. "I think it's actually working," he said. "But I've been wondering, why do you always say to take it before my walk? Does the timing really matter that much?" It's a great question, and the short answer is yes. It matters a lot more than most people realize. Here's why. Your body doesn't just build collagen randomly. It needs a trigger. And one of the most powerful triggers is movement, specifically, movement that gently loads your joints. When you walk, squat, climb stairs, or stretch, you're sending a mechanical signal to your connective tissue. Hey, we need support here. That signal activates cells called fibroblasts, the specialized builders responsible for producing new collagen. Now imagine those fibroblasts are like construction workers. If they show up to the job site and there's no material to work with, no bricks, no mortar, no steel, nothing gets built. But if the materials arrive just before the team starts working, now you've got progress. That's exactly what happens when you take collagen with vitamin C 30 to 60 minutes before gentle movement. By the time your joints start moving, the amino acids are circulating in your blood, ready to be used. Studies from UC Davis and the Australian Institute of Sport have shown that this timing can double collagen synthesis compared to taking collagen without movement or after exercise. That's a massive difference from such a small shift. Think about that. The same drink, the same body, but with different timing, the results change completely. I like to think of it like watering a plant. If you water it when the sun is out and the soil is warm, it grows. If you water it at night in the cold, it doesn't respond the same way. Timing isn't just a detail, it's the key to unlocking results. So here's the simple rhythm I often suggest. Drink your collagen blend first thing in the morning, or at least 30-45 minutes before planned movement. Do 5 to 10 minutes of gentle joint loading exercise, enough to activate the tissue, not inflame it. Finish with a few minutes of deep nasal breathing to calm your nervous system and support repair. This small protocol, drink, move, breathe, acts like a switch for regeneration. It tells your body, we're rebuilding now. And the best part, it's easy. You don't need a gym, you don't need equipment. You just need intention, consistency, and a few quiet minutes to honor your body each day. But that raises another question. What kind of movement is best for rebuilding knees? Because too much strain causes pain, and too little doesn't stimulate anything at all. Let's talk about how to find that sweet spot, the right way to move for joint repair, next. Number 6. Your brain on pain, how to rewire chronic discomfort. A woman named Corinne reached out to me not long ago. She was 62, energetic, sharp-witted, but frustrated beyond words. I've done the collagen, she said. I've done the movement, and still the pain's there. It's like my body doesn't want to heal. I asked her one question. Do you feel afraid to move? She paused, honestly. Yes, every time I try, I'm bracing for pain. I guess I expect it now. That moment, that quiet expectation of pain, is something many people experience, and it holds the key to understanding one of the most overlooked parts of healing. The brain. We often think of knee pain as purely physical, a matter of cartilage, joints, inflammation. But here's what neuroscience tells us. Pain is not just a sensation, it's a perception. It's something your brain interprets based on signals from the body, your past experiences, your emotions, and even your expectations. In people with chronic pain, especially joint pain, brain imaging studies show something fascinating. Areas like the anterior cingulate cortex and the insula, parts of the brain involved in emotional processing and threat detection, are overactive. In simple terms, the brain learns to expect pain and over time starts amplifying even small signals. This is called central sensitization. It's like your brain is turning up the volume on discomfort, even when there's no new injury. This is why some people can do the same movement and feel fine, while others feel pain. It's not because one is stronger, but because one has rewired their nervous system to feel safer. But here's the empowering part, that wiring isn't fixed. Your brain is plastic, which means it can change. And with the right tools, you can teach it to turn the volume back down. One of the most powerful tools, breath. When you breathe slowly and deeply through your nose, specifically, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 2, and exhale slowly for 6 to 8, you send a message to your brain, I'm safe. I'm not in danger. We can shift into recovery mode now. In fact, a 2020 study in pain medicine found that people who practice this kind of diaphragmatic breathing for just 10 minutes a day experienced significant reductions in pain, even when the structural issues in their body stayed the same. Another tool, graded movement exposure. This simply means starting with gentle, safe motion, movements your body can do without fear, and gradually building up over time. Things like wall sits, step-ups, or even just walking backward for a few minutes. You're not just moving your body, you're teaching your brain that movement doesn't have to mean pain. Corinne started with just that. She drank her collagen, did 2 minutes of slow squats while breathing deeply, and wrote down one sentence afterward. Today, I moved without fear. 3 weeks in, her words changed. Today, I moved with confidence. That's the shift. Because pain isn't always a sign of damage. Sometimes, it's just a signal loop that needs to be interrupted, with breath, with movement, and with calm. So now that your brain is beginning to feel safe again, and your body is receiving the right building blocks and timing signals, the next step is choosing exactly the kind of movement that tells your joints, we're ready to rebuild. Let's talk about what that looks like next. Number 7, move to heal. 4 easy exercises to rebuild your knees. When I first met James, he was 68 and had stopped hiking, something he used to love, because his knees felt unstable and sore after just a few steps downhill. He told me, I thought movement was the problem, that resting would help them recover, but now even walking to the mailbox makes me nervous. What James didn't know, what so many of us haven't been taught, is that the right kind of movement isn't the problem. It's actually the solution. See, your joints, especially your knees, are living, adapting structures. And just like your muscles grow stronger when you lift weights, your cartilage and connective tissue respond to gentle stress. It's a principle called Wolff's Law. Tissue adapts to the forces placed upon it. The key is finding that sweet spot, not too little, not too much. You don't need long workouts or heavy weights. You just need consistent, joint-safe movement that sends the message, we're using this, let's rebuild. Let me walk you through 4 simple exercises that do just that. They're easy, they're effective, and best of all, they're safe for sensitive knees. 1 wall sit. Stand with your back against a wall. Slide down slowly as if you're sitting in an invisible chair. Hold for 15 to 30 seconds, then slide back up. Why it works? This activates your quadriceps, the muscles that stabilize your kneecap, without putting pressure on the joint itself. Start with 2 or 3 rounds and increase the time gradually. James started with 10-second holds. 2 weeks later, he could sit for a full minute with confidence. 2. Terminal knee extensions, TKEs. Using a resistance band tied behind your knee, straighten your leg slowly against the tension, then release. Why it works? This targets a small but critical muscle called the vastus medialis oblique, VMO. It helps keep your kneecap aligned during motion. This one's great for anyone who notices discomfort climbing stairs or getting out of chairs. 3 step-ups. Use a low, stable step, 4-8 inches. Step up slowly with one leg, then down with control. Keep your knee aligned over your toes. Why it works? This mimics real-life movement while strengthening the hips and knees together. It teaches balance, coordination, and control. Start small. If your balance is shaky, hold on to something. The goal is smooth, steady movement, not speed. 4 backward walking or sled drags. If you have access to a gym sled, great. But for most people, simply walking backward on a flat surface or a treadmill is enough. Why it works? This activates the hamstrings and strengthens the joint without heavy impact. It's also amazing for retraining the brain's sense of joint position, called proprioception. Just 2 minutes a day can noticeably improve knee stability. Here's what James did. He picked 2 exercises, wall sits and backward walking, and did them every morning after his collagen drink. No gym. No pain. Within 3 weeks, he was walking uphill again without hesitation. Not because his knees were magically cured, but because they were rebuilding from the inside out. The lesson is this: movement isn't just allowed when you have joint pain, it's necessary. But it has to be the right kind, delivered in the right dose. So now you have the nutrition, the timing, the mindset, and the movement. But there's one more layer we need to add, a layer most people forget. It's what determines whether your body is ready to regenerate or stuck in survival mode. Let's talk about that invisible but critical piece next. Number 8, the missing link: sleep, water, micronutrients, and healing hormones. By the time Rachel found me, she'd already tried everything: collagen powder, physical therapy, even anti-inflammatory injections. She was 66, still working part-time as a school librarian, and she told me, "I'm doing all the right things, but I feel like my body's just not listening." And she was right, but not in the way she thought. You see, healing isn't just about what you give your body. It's about when and whether your body is even able to use those tools. Think of it this way. You could have all the construction materials you need: collagen, movement, nutrients. But if the internal environment isn't right, nothing gets built. The workers don't show up. The blueprint gets ignored. So what is this internal environment? It's the invisible layer of conditions that tells your body, we're safe now, we can repair. Let's break down the 4 pillars that quietly make or break your ability to rebuild joints. 1. Sleep. The nighttime repair cycle. Most people don't realize that the majority of your body's repair happens during deep sleep, especially slow-wave sleep. That's when growth hormone is released, inflammation quiets down, and tissues begin to regenerate. If you're sleeping less than 7 hours or waking up often, your body is constantly behind on repairs. Rachel had been sleeping 5-6 hours for years, thinking that was normal. We started a simple wind-down routine. No screens after 8 p.m., dim lights, and 400 mg of magnesium glycinate. Within a week, she said, I didn't realize how tense I was until I actually started resting. 2. Water. The joint lubricator cartilage is made up of about 70% water. Without enough of it, your joints become dry, stiff, and prone to friction. And even mild dehydration can reduce the flow of nutrients into the joint space. I often suggest starting the day with a glass of water, a pinch of sea salt, and a squeeze of lemon. It's simple, but it primes the body for circulation and absorption. And throughout the day, aim to rehydrate every 90-120 minutes, even just a few sips at a time. 3. Micronutrients. The collagen cofactors your body can't make collagen with protein alone. It needs specific vitamins and minerals to complete the process. Vitamin C to activate collagen-producing enzymes. Zinc to support tissue repair. Copper to help form strong collagen crosslinks. These are often depleted by stress, poor digestion, or limited diets. Leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, shellfish, citrus, and colorful vegetables go a long way. But if you're low, a gentle multi-mineral or targeted supplement can fill the gap. 4. Healing hormones, and the state that unlocks them. Your nervous system has 2 main gears: fight or flight, sympathetic, and rest and repair, parasympathetic. Collagen is produced almost entirely in the rest and repair state. That's why breathwork, deep rest, and even short naps can support healing more than people expect. Rachel began doing 5 minutes of non-sleep deep rest, NSDR, using a free audio track before bed. Not meditation. Just lying down, eyes closed, following a guided voice. Within a few weeks, not only did her pain ease, her mood improved too. So the takeaway here is powerful. Your knees don't heal in chaos. They heal in calm. Your job isn't to force recovery, it's to create the conditions for it. Now that you've learned what those conditions are, let's pull everything together. Because knowledge is great, but action is where the change happens. Let me show you a simple, day-by-day protocol you can follow starting tomorrow to begin your own process of regeneration. Number 9. 1-week protocol. What to do, when to do it, and what to expect. By this point you might be thinking, okay, I understand the science, I've got the pieces, but how do I actually start? That's exactly what Maria asked me. She was 70, living on her own, and had been dealing with knee discomfort for over a decade. I don't need perfection, she said. I just want a plan I can follow, something real, something I can feel working. So I gave her what I'm about to share with you, a simple, gentle 1-week protocol. No overwhelm, no complicated equipment, just a steady rhythm of healing, rooted in everything you've learned so far. Here's how it works day by day. Day 1-2, prime the system. Morning, drink the homemade collagen blend, gelatin plus vitamin C plus warm water. 30 minutes later, do 5 minutes of gentle joint movement. Wall sits and backward walking are ideal. Evening, 10 minutes of wind down before bed, dim lights, no screens, optional, magnesium or calming tea. What to expect? Maybe not less pain yet, but you'll likely notice less stiffness in the morning. Day 3-4, add the signal to repair. Keep the same morning rhythm, collagen plus movement. Add 2 minutes of deep nasal breathing after your movement. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6-8. Hydration habit. Set a timer to drink water every 2 hours during the day, especially after meals. What to expect? Joints may feel more fluid, especially after movement. Your mood and energy may subtly shift too. Day 5-6. Support the environment. Maintain morning and breathing routines. Add in micronutrients through food. Leafy greens, citrus, pumpkin seeds, a handful of berries. Optional, 5 minutes of NSDR or body scan meditation before bed. What to expect? Sleep might deepen. You may notice you recover faster from movement and feel more steady on your feet. Day 7. Reflect, reset, repeat. Do your full protocol, but also take a moment to reflect. How do your knees feel today versus 1 week ago? Write it down, even one line. Less stiff after walking, or first morning I didn't reach for support. This reflection isn't just about tracking change. It teaches your brain to notice healing, which reinforces recovery. When Maria finished her first week, she emailed me with just 3 words. It's actually working. Not in some dramatic, overnight way, but in a steady, empowering way that made her feel in control again. The real lesson here is, consistency beats intensity. You don't need to do everything perfectly. You just need to send your body the right signals every day through nourishment, movement, rest, and care. And now you're ready. You've got the knowledge. You've got the steps. And you felt the shift from passive pain to active participation. But before we close, I want to offer you something even more important. Not another tip or protocol, but a mindset, a new identity, a belief that you can become the kind of person who heals. Let's finish this journey together. From patient to practitioner, you are the healer. Let's take a breath and zoom out for a moment. You started this video perhaps looking for a way to ease your knee pain. Maybe it's been lingering for years. Maybe it crept in recently and made you hesitate on stairs, skip your morning walks, or just feel a little less like yourself. But what you've discovered is something much deeper than just pain relief. You've learned that your body is not broken, it's responsive. That pain isn't always about damage, it's often about missing signals. And that healing isn't about waiting for the right doctor or the next miracle product. It's about giving your body what it's been asking for, and doing it consistently, kindly, and with intention. You've gone from just managing symptoms to understanding the full system. Collagen as the structural foundation of your joints, the timing and movement that activate repair, the brain's role in amplifying or easing pain, and the internal conditions, sleep, hydration, micronutrients, that either support or block healing. But more than anything, you've stepped into a new identity. You are no longer just a patient hoping to feel better. You are a practitioner of your own healing. The person who wakes up, stirs a simple collagen drink, moves gently, breathes deeply, and creates an internal environment of safety, strength, and growth. You are sending signals to your body every single day. I'm rebuilding. I'm paying attention. I'm not done yet. And just like Rachel or James or Maria, this shift doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. And when it does, it's not just your knees that change. It's how you see aging, vitality, and yourself. So here's your next step. Choose one thing. Maybe it's the drink. Maybe it's 2 minutes of backward walking. Maybe it's simply going to bed 30 minutes earlier tonight. Start there. Let that one small act lead the way. And if this video spoke to you, if it gave you clarity, comfort, or just a sense of possibility, consider subscribing. Not because of algorithms, but because this is just the beginning. There's so much more to explore, from rebuilding other joints, to supporting your nervous system, to understanding how your body regenerates with age. Drop a comment below and let me know, what's the first thing you're going to try? Because this isn't just a channel, it's a community. A place where we heal through knowledge, through consistency, and through the quiet power of showing up for ourselves. You've got the map now. Your body is listening, your brain is learning, and the healing process has already begun. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, move with intention, heal with patience, and stay curious.